Today is 883rd day, and I'm here as lessons to learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams. Your goals allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about one topic that I really admire, and that is intelligence and wisdom. Intelligence and wisdom. So, what do you think about intelligence and wisdom? Which one is more important, intelligence or wisdom? I think that a lot of times people say knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and that knowledge is a lot of times is in that intelligence. What as power is wisdom, and wisdom is knowing how to use that knowledge. So a lot of times intelligent people missing wisdom. So if you're wise, you will become intelligent. If you're wise, you will become intelligent. But if you're intelligent, you can go through life just by being intelligent but never becoming wise. So I truly believe it is much, much more important to really becoming wise, because when you become, you know how to become intelligent. Because you understand what knowledge, what skill sets you need to have. What kind of knowledge is really power? Because if you have a knowledge that is not relevant for you specifically, if you are, if you one career path, but you learning a knowledge that's from totally different career path, it might be that you just wasting your time. So wisdom and being wise allows to really making sure that you focus on things that really matters rather than things that do not matter whatsoever. So today we'll share like 10 things that is really different between intelligent people without wisdom and people who are wise. So number one is career choices. So when intelligent people choosing career, basically focusing just on the high pay salaries, and really don't consider what is that long-term implications of that career. Because a lot of times career paths that has very high salaries at the beginning, they have very, very strict ceilings. And some career paths, when you're able to choose properly, sometimes not. It depends on every person. I understand, but sometimes people are able to choose from lower salary, but they know that they have almost unlimited ceiling. So 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, maybe 5 years, there will be the low person who went after the high salary right away. But after 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, that gap will start to increase between the wise person and that intelligent person who said, "Oh, I want to have that higher salary right away." So we need to understand that wise people really choose not just based on salary, but really look into values, long-term vision, aspirations, passions, like all the things that what works, like to make sure that they just don't look in financial reward just solely. They look into multiple things. Number two is relationships. A lot of times, intelligent people just focusing basically solely on attraction and superficial qualities without really considering the most important parts of relationship, that is compatibility, emotional connection, that you're able to really understand that you are able to feel like home with that person. Because a lot of physical attraction weans off, but what never weans off is if the feeling of peace, feeling that you know that when you will meet that person you feel like home. Because feeling home is not just house, feeling home is the person that you feel like home. And a lot of times when intelligent people looking into similarities, how to communicate, how able to support each other, how are they able to handle conflicts, really how to manage that connection over time. Number three is health and wellness. This is an interesting one because intelligent people are a lot of times focus on 30-day challenges, like solely on some very, very fast, short-term result-based programs. Some rapid weight loss, physical transformation, like something massive change in a very short-term period of time. But they don't look into what kind of long-term implications could be based on massive destruction of the body. How wise is looking, they look into how to adopt sustainable lifestyle changes, improve their habits and routines, that they could have really the activities that they could sustain for a lifetime. That means regular exercises, proper sleep, proper diet, and really don't hurt yourself by not eating for a month or so. And that, of course, increases longevity in general. Number four is financial management. This is interesting as well because a lot of times intelligent people seems intelligent, but when you think about themselves, they really do not have proper budget in place, or really making investment decisions based on short-term decisions. And they sometimes even they could be intelligent in multiple areas in their life, but in finance might be not because they really try to speculate, and they have one success, maybe they lose a lot of money and they start to believe that they are good in finances and investments. What wise people do is they really understand, they invest time and money to learn about investments, learn about finances, they budget properly, they save money, they prepare for bad day. They know that they potentially need to take advice from other people to really get the best possible way to really build stability. And sometimes they diversify, that they could really reduce their risk. Number five is mentoring or parenting. Now, intelligent people a lot of times enforce very strict rules, and this is exactly what you need to do. This is exactly how you need to follow. This is exactly what you need to do because I did it. And of course, a lot of times, though, that pressure doesn't help neither children, neither mentees, because we understand that every single person doesn't need the rules a lot of times. They need your support and nurturing. And what's really wise person, wise mentor, wise parent does is he's very, very supportive and nurturing. So that means that he's able to understand and love unconditionally and never accept bad behavior, but at the same time that's coming from care, because I love the word carefrontational, and they're able to really help to build and encourage resilience, independence of other people. So that means that they share strategies, principles, but not the tactics, and they do not um, they don't minor major, don't focus on minor things, because they focus on major things. If and because every single person is different, and we defining how we able to help that person. Number six is personal growth. So intelligent people is consumers. They consume vast amounts of information, books, seminars, pursuing multiple hobbies. Like there is over like so many things that they just list hundreds of seminars, hundreds of conferences, hundreds of books that they read, like everything. But what is that they really didn't never will never execute on that, because a wise person, what they do, they are always reflecting on themselves. They are masters on self-reflection, and they say like, okay, what do I need to do now? So they set goals in place and really seeking uh, feedback constantly, and embracing lifelong learning. But at the same time, they always say that like, what I'm able to implement right now, what they able to implement, because intelligent people have the knowledge, but wise people know how to implement the knowledge. And that's a massive, massive difference. And that's what personal growth is supposed to be, learning how to implement the things that you learn, not just learning about great things. Number seven is conflict resolution. That means a lot of times people who are intelligent really go to argumentative communication or manipulation, because they want to win the argument, because they feel very intelligent, and a lot of times they prioritize ego rather than and self-interest rather than really find the common ground. Because if you just have protecting your ego, will not look for ways how to have that conversation situated and making sure that you find the best um, resolution. While wise people, they approaching conflict with they have a different approach, and they are approaching with empathy, active listening. They a lot of times they said that if you want to be understood, first understand it. So they understand, and then they of course they share their ideas, and then they are able to be understood, and they understand that you need to have conflict with mutually beneficial solutions, and that's also of course allows to foster harmony and build massive relationship, because when you always find how to we could build something together meaningful, of course you need to learn how to uh, find solutions that works for both parties. Number eight is social interactions. Intelligent people are really connecting people just for their own gain, and they're just looking for just from network that only that focus on really helping them right now. Wise people don't do that. They look into how to cultivate authentic relations with people who from the same industry, and looking how to add value, massive value. And in the future, they know that karma, universe, will send back a lot of in return. And they are contributing supportly, like to well-being to other people, emotionally, physically, financially. And at some point, they know that they will get something in return. And that is what wise people do. And that's why they succeed. Number nine is time management. Intelligent people, they juggling multiple tasks at the same time. They're overcommitting to projects, and because they are feeling committed and they feel busy, and that saying "I'm busy working on so many things," it's really a lot of times it shows that you just don't know how to prioritize yet, and you don't know how to say no yet. You're afraid of maybe rejection. Maybe there's a lot of different things why you have overcommitted to different things. But wise people, they prioritize themselves to maybe one, maybe two, maybe max three things at the same time, and they know how to master their time. And when you meet a person who is wise in time management, you know that when you ask like, what do you do, they will say that this is what I'm working right now, and they will work on that for a week, 2 weeks, a month until they will succeed, and then will move to something else. They could do sometimes 1 or 2 days something, multiple things if something came up very urgently as a priority. But other than that, they are very good in managing their urgencies and priorities. And number 10 is life transitions. Intelligent people are really don't want to change as much. They believe that a lot of times it is a fixed. And now they have the knowledge and that's it. They are smart enough. They practice, they educate themselves, and that's it. While wise people, they know that you need to become a lifelong learner. You always need to look ways how to embrace change for opportunity for growth. Because when you adapt, you become much more resilient and you're able to go open to different new ideas and really navigate through challenges and create new opportunities for yourself. Because a person who loves life transitions, who loves to really open themselves into growth and not being afraid to take risks, are getting the majority of opportunities. Because if you say that I might be not getting opportunities, and it might be that you're not stepping out of your comfort zone to find those opportunities, because most opportunities that you're looking for is outside of your comfort zone. You never found those yet because you've never been out of your comfort zone. So maybe it's a challenge for next week or two. Really challenge yourself to do something that you never imagined yourself doing. That's a very powerful saying. Do something next week that you could never imagine yourself doing. And of course, that will open different doors, will stretch. And after you stretch, it might be that you'll start reaching some kind of opportunity that you never thought you will get. So I hope that you will reflect. Are you an intelligent person or are you wise? And if you really want to become a wise, because you're able to work to become more intelligent, you can work to become more wise. I truly believe that the majority of people who are massively wealthy people are massively wise people. So I think that the focus of foundation is supposed to be building the wisdom, the common sense. Because I love when my mentor used to say that common sense is not common. And common sense is coming from wisdom, from real understanding a lot of things. So I hope that you will reflect as well, because reflection is part of being and becoming wise, and really start working on becoming as wise as you can, so you can learn how to learn and educate and become intelligent in the areas that you need to. That is the most important part, because wise people know what kind of knowledge is power, and they look and see and get that information, and they use that power, that knowledge as a power. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.